in a recent video, a woman was dismayed to discover that the individually packaged snack chicken leg she purchased was a counterfeit. Would you believe it without seeing this video? Even chicken legs can be fake these days. Aside from the chicken skin and bone, oh my god, what kind of meat have they stuffed inside? They mix fat with glue, refilled it into beef bones, and sold it as bone marrow to consumers. What kind of ingenuity does it take to pull this off so masterfully? A man meticulously spraying chili peppers, hoping to transform them into fiery red, irresistibly sumptuous delights that will make your dining experience unforgettable. And then there's another gentleman, surprisingly, wetting sheets of cardboard. It's an intriguing scenario that begs the question, what in the world is happening here? Now, returning to the curious practices of wetting cardboard and painting pigs, let's unravel the mystery. Cardboard wetting might seem bizarre at first, but its purpose becomes evident. You see, these resourceful recyclers collect cardboard, intending to sell it to recycling centers where the value is determined by weight. Ingeniously, they surreptitiously increase the cardboard's weight by soaking it. This cunning deception allows them to pocket a few extra cents per gram, a crafty maneuver in the recycling industry. As we delve into the act of pig painting, a question arises. Why would anyone paint pigs? In China, where the mistreatment of animals is an unfortunate reality, especially among regular pigs, these animals are subjected to growth hormones and unhealthy conditions. On the contrary, black pigs, raised in more organic and humane environments, fetch a higher price. Unscrupulous farmers exploit this preference by deceiving consumers. They sell regular pork that's been painted black, tricking customers into paying a premium for what they believe to be a healthier choice. Some farmers, driven by profit motives, are resorting to using hair dye to paint white pigs black for sale. But this trend is still popular. Stinky tofu, a traditional Chinese snack known for its smelly but tasty quality, is traditionally made by fermenting fresh tofu over a prolonged period through a complex process. Now, some unscrupulous sellers simply soak tofu in an unidentified black liquid to achieve the same effect. Another video reveals workers immersing fresh long beans in a formaldehyde solution before transporting them. This method purportedly preserves the beans for extended periods. However, it's widely acknowledged that such industrial preservatives are toxic and not suitable for food preservation. To understand the origin of these bizarre practices, let's journey back to the recent opening of the Asian Games in China. Envision a massive crowd eagerly gathered, brimming with anticipation as they aim their cameras at the night sky, awaiting a breathtaking fireworks display. The atmosphere is electric, the excitement palpable. However, as the moment arrives, something unexpected unfolds. Silence. The grand spectacle that the world watched on television was nothing but an elaborate facade. Those at home were left awestruck by a mesmerizing light show and fireworks, but the truth was far from what they witnessed. It was all a well-executed deception, leaving us pondering the authenticity of the entire event. As autumn approaches, the crab season begins, and vendors often tie crabs with ropes to facilitate handling and sales. However, this practice can lead to deceptive tactics by some vendors. They use disproportionately thick ropes that significantly add to the weight of the product. This clever maneuver can transform a 300-gram crab into a 500-gram one, effectively misleading consumers who may unwittingly pay more for a seemingly larger crab.
螃蟹绑绳呢，就是为了赚你们钱。我指的是某宝、某拼夕夕那些黑心的商家啊，4公4母8只，150多块钱。他们给你们用的什么？1两的蟹，可能1两都不到啊，市场价大概100都不出头，几十万的一个销量。但是咱们收到快递的人有一半可能是会维权的，但是大部分人粗心大意，是不是觉得好麻烦，他就不维权了？就算是咱们维权了，里面有一半的人什么给你补偿个10块20块钱优惠券，是不是就把你们糊弄过去了？刨去这个物流啊成本，包括这个平台啊，咱们投诉的这个打点费啊，销量几十万，净利润都有千把万啊，这个不比抢劫快多了。
Not just vegetables. Fruits are major victims too. The videographer reveals that some of these chemicals are hydrogen peroxide and formaldehyde, both industrial-grade preservatives. Moreover, some crops are exposed to various chemicals from the planting stage itself. For instance, cucumbers are subjected to swelling agents and ripening hormones. Bananas and oranges are also soaked in chemical solutions post-harvest before being sold. The video also features chilies undergoing a cosmetic enhancement. After being sprayed with dyes, the once blotchy, dark-colored chilies become vibrant and red, potentially justifying a price hike. On September 26, 2023, a titanium surgical nail was discovered in a bowl of bone soup at a restaurant in Luzhou City, Guangxi Province. Netizens suspect that this rectangular piece may be an orthopedic surgical implant nail. The diner reported that the restaurant owner took no action except for not charging them for the soup. In a similar vein, on September 11th, a woman in Foshan, Guangdong, was astonished to find a large bolt inside her mooncake. Another diner recounted a horrifying experience at a hot pot restaurant where, after a brief while, multiple roaches scurried around the pot. The restaurant explained that the pot had been stored for too long and the roaches emerged when it was heated. A student described the situation, saying that on September 13th, her roommate had ordered campus delivery, which included food like noodles and rice noodles. The delivery was from an independently operated vendor off campus, and to their surprise, they found a drain in the meal. They were shocked at the time. They immediately contacted the delivery vendor to demand an explanation. The vendor involved in the incident explained that the drain was new and may have accidentally fallen into the food during the preparation process. To compensate for the customer's loss and to restore their reputation, the vendor remade the delivery and added 2 chicken legs and a bottle of beverage as a complimentary gesture. However, this incident did not quell the anger of netizens. Many netizens expressed that such behavior seriously affects food safety and public hygiene and makes people feel disgusted. Some netizens even questioned, can we still eat with confidence with such questionable hygiene conditions for delivery food? On October 4th, a consumer named Ms. Li and her friends went to Chongqing for tourism and decided to enjoy an authentic hot pot meal. However, they never expected that this hot pot meal would turn into an unpleasant experience during their trip. Just as they were about to finish eating, Ms. Li used a spoon to scoop out an object that appeared to be a piece of porcelain tile, which startled her. She immediately reported this issue to the staff at the hot pot restaurant, and the restaurant promised to comp their meal. Ms. Li's friends were equally shocked and concerned, and they had serious doubts and concerns about the origin of this piece of tile. Li suspected that the tile might have come from the restroom, which heightened her concerns even further. She worried that this tile might have had leftover oil stains from someone else's meal, or, even worse, could be related to the reuse of sewage oil. These concerns led her to wonder if this tile came from the restroom. Were there hygiene and safety issues with other ingredients as well? This made her seriously question the overall hygiene conditions of the entire hot pot restaurant. As autumn approaches,
这是给人吃的，你们也造假，你们这些无良商家！各位老铁，买东西要擦亮眼睛，看一下视频。
那鸡腿哈从造假造成下种地步啊！我叫大家看看哈，看到没？
看一下这鸡腿是怎么造假的。除了骨头和鸡皮，全是假的。你们赚这些钱，良心不会痛吧？我呸！哎呀，又吐手机上了。
As autumn approaches, the crab season begins, and vendors often tie crabs with ropes to facilitate handling and sales. However, this practice can lead to deceptive tactics by some vendors. They use disproportionately thick ropes that significantly add to the weight of the product. This clever maneuver can transform a 300-gram crab into a 500-gram one, effectively misleading consumers who may unwittingly pay more for a seemingly larger crab. The video host recounts her recent experience buying 500-gram bags of sunflower seeds. To her surprise, each bag was filled with an unusually heavy amount of oxygen absorbers. When she decided to weigh the contents, she discovered that what should have been a total of 2,500 grams of sunflower seeds amounted to only 1,855 grams. The oxygen absorbers alone weighed 531 grams. This significant deviation from the national standards was glaring, as food products weighing 501,000 grams should typically contain no more than 5 grams of oxygen absorbers. In this case, the sunflower seed vendor had exceeded the allowable limit by a staggering 21 times. This incident is just one example of a recurring problem in China, where counterfeit and fraudulent practices in various industries have become alarmingly commonplace, often surpassing one's wildest imagination. These cardboard boxes, which can be exchanged for money when recycled, are gathered from households and then sold to recycling centers. In the video, a seller is shown spraying water between the layers of the cardboard boxes to increase their weight, thereby earning more money from the sale. The price of old cardboard boxes has surged, and some people, in order to make more money, have resorted to adding water to the cardboard boxes to increase their weight. This year, the recycling price for old newspapers in Xi'an has continued to rise, reaching as high as 1.9 yuan per kilogram at its peak. In front of a scrap recycling station on Changyi Road, the owner, aiming to maximize profits, has gone to the extent of adding water to the recycled old cardboard boxes. Factors such as increasing environmental requirements, rising raw material prices, and the popularity of online shopping have contributed to the increase in the prices of old cardboard boxes. In a different, equally astonishing situation, a man who had bought gold from a bank a decade ago for 200,000 yuan found out that it had rusted. When he approached the bank's manager for an explanation, the response was simple. The bank had acted as a middleman in the transaction. What's even more astonishing is that such incidents are not confined to private banks but also extend to state-owned ones, making it exceedingly challenging to avoid fraudulent activities in China. In a rather unusual turn of events, landscaping workers were observed engaging in a practice referred to as a greening, which involved painting yellowed and withered trees a vibrant shade of green. It's worth highlighting that this peculiar task was carried out under official directives. The culture of imitation in China doesn't stop at local products. It extends to globally renowned Western franchises as well. Take, for instance, KFC, a widely recognized brand worldwide. In China, it has been replicated in numerous forms, appearing to surpass the variety of alphabetic letters. A fast food chain by the name of Bombing G has risen to challenge KFC's dominance. Their English branding, which includes an image resembling Barack Obama alongside the peculiar name UFO, begs the question, did the counterfeiters merely select 3 arbitrary letters? What takeaway can you really trust to eat? These instances shed light on the alarming lack of food safety and ethics in China, where some individuals and businesses prioritize profit over integrity. From dyeing meat to resemble premium cuts to spray painting pigs, ducks, and even trees for deceptive purposes, these practices demonstrate a concerning trend. The use of industrial-grade preservatives on vegetables and fruits, including hydrogen peroxide and formaldehyde, further erodes trust in the food supply chain. Unfortunate incidents involving foreign objects in meals, such as a surgical nail in soup or a porcelain tile in hot pot, raise questions about hygiene and safety standards. The prevalence of counterfeits and unethical practices in the food industry is a serious issue, making it increasingly challenging for consumers to make informed and safe food choices in China. Now, you might wonder why such deceptive practices are rampant in China. The answer lies in a famous Chinese saying, "If you can cheat, then cheat." Regrettably, deception and fraud have become an integral part of daily life in China. This culture of dishonesty stems from a combination of factors, including past historical hardships where survival often favored cunning tactics over morals. Additionally, it's perpetuated by a lack of accountability and governance. As a result, the concept of cheating and being cheated has become deeply ingrained in Chinese society. The impact of these pervasive scams extends far beyond China's borders. It has resulted in countless global scandals, from tainted food products to harmful consumer goods. This is not merely a matter of harmless trickery. It's a profound societal issue rooted in governance and moral erosion.